Vergil Ortiz is out. Let's talk about what happened.
Push the weight enough flex. The live is one in the section. Fit the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You ain't run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I mean, Dave Walker, drink blood, trains out, full moon, motherfucker change like a hoe, nigga. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Drew Titan, Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. Well, this news just broke yesterday. Boxing scene, link will be in the description. Article written by my favorite boxing journalist, Jake Donovan. Salute to him. Vergil Ortiz says, I felt my body was deteriorating. I didn't know why, and it was frustrating. The good news for Vergil Ortiz is that he's in recovery. He's in a recovery process and that has already begun. Unfortunately, it also means an even longer delay ahead of his next fight. In the first of the year, the unbeaten top-rated welterweight contender provided an update following the news of his having to withdraw from the scheduled fight with England's Michael McKinson this Saturday in Los Angeles. As previously reported on BoxingScene.com, Ortiz, 18-0 with 18 knockouts, was hospitalized to treat rhabdomyolysis. I hope I'm saying that right. Commonly known as rhabdo, all right, which is a serious medical condition which occurs when damaged muscle tissue releases proteins into the bloodstream. Oh, man. Long-term effects include kidney and heart damage. Obviously, a risk that no boxer should be expected to take for the sake of moving forward with the fight, and I agree with that. He says, first and foremost, I am very sorry and disappointed to not be able to fight this Saturday. Ortiz stated hours after it was first reported of his withdrawal. Camp was going great. I was doing very good in sparring and training in general. But for the last 2 weeks, I didn't feel like myself. I just felt like my body was deteriorating and I didn't know why, and it was frustrating. Being the fighter that I am, I tried toughing it out. But when it's your own body fighting against you, there's very little you can do. And I agree with that. And I'll discuss why after I'm done with this article. Luckily, my dad was also able to tell I wasn't right. And he took me to the doctor. We ran some tests, and the doctor concluded that I had rhabdomyolysis. For now, the show will go on without Ortiz. Though there is also concern of the zone televised event being canceled outright, a replacement opponent is already to be sought after for McKinson. It was 21 wins, no losses, 2 knockouts. So, this guy can't bust a grape. Whose team has already declined one offer through another potential option come through pending approval in California State Athletic Commission. Meanwhile, Ortiz, already a 7th-month gap between fights, will grow even longer. The red-hot knockout artist from Grand Prairie, Texas, I butchered that, I'm sorry, it's late, y'all, who turns 24 later this month, was looking forward to building toward a potential title shot versus WBO welterweight champion Terrence Bud Crawford. Wow. As a win on Saturday would have secured his place as the mandatory challenger, he will instead have to take on a new plan, recover, and rebuild. He says, I was hospitalized yesterday and had to stay overnight. It could have been a lot worse, and I'm thankful that we caught it in time. Notes Ortiz and his best efforts in finding a silver lining. I am very sorry. If I let you guys down, believe me, if there was a hair of a chance of me fighting, I would be. That's the article. Here's my opinion. First and foremost, I look at the cup half full instead of half empty when it comes to things like this. Bull crap aside, you have to say it these days. If this is the truth, I hope he gets well. You don't play with things that have to do with your kidneys. In the bodybuilding world, that is a sport, and sometimes those guys, bodybuilders, they for those of you that don't know, the weakest point in a bodybuilder, like at their weakest point, is when they're on that stage. They have to be damn near dehydrated. The skin has to hug the muscle. Everything has to be tight. I've seen bodybuilders pass out on stage. You know how you see these weigh-ins where these guys have to, they literally pass out, and after they get off the scale, they got to drink Gatorade, rehydrate. They be getting sick. I believe it was Mikey Garcia trying to weigh in. I forget. This was years ago I saw this. And he was throwing up trying to make weight. Bodybuilders literally have died, dehydrated themselves. When you dehydrate yourself and play, I don't want to say play games like that, but the point I'm trying to drill here. When that happens, your kidneys have to work overtime. You only got 2. So when I see things like rhabdomyolysis, man, this is, when your kidneys betray you, that's when you start talking about dialysis and everything else. Bodybuilders have been on diuretics and to make themselves look good on stage, and they're real good on stage. Man, look up how many bodybuilders passed away. Weight gain and weight loss is a science when it comes to on an athletic level. Boxers will tell you weight gain and weight loss, making weight, that's a science. 2 pounds, a pound, 3 pounds over, it really does make a difference. Trust me, it does. We watched Josh Taylor get hit with a lot of left hands against a guy we thought he was going to steamroll. And I asked, is this guy his kryptonite and he just got away with one? Or everyone is now speculating maybe he can't make 140 anymore. Now, he made the weight. He got in there. He might look good to the untrained eye. But his reflexes did seem a bit off. We'll know in the rematch if the rematch happens. Speaking of the rematch, didn't Josh Taylor now say, I'll rematch him at 147? Uh-oh. But we'll see what happens with that. But getting back to Ortiz, I don't want to play with this thing and call him a liar. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Not going to do that. I'm just taking the news. I'm giving my opinion as it's reported. Okay? Just giving it as it's reported. Now, if everyone's going to actually see doctor's notes and everything else like they did Errol Spence, I ain't going to be mad at that. But, he was in the hospital, right? Should be open and shut. Right? Is he going to get that treatment? I don't know. Let's see. But the last thing he needed to do, if this is 100%, is get in that ring, and around maybe round 5 or 6, his body starts betraying him, and that's when he'll get stopped by a guy that only has 2 knockouts, if I read that correctly. Let me go back and read it again real quick. When they showed this fella's record. Where did it say? McKenson, 21 wins, no losses, and 2 knockouts. That's what it says here. I ain't checking for him. I'm just going off of what was said. 2 knockouts, 21 wins, no losses, and 2 knockouts. But he's undefeated, though. Okay. But hey, rhabdomyolysis is nothing to play with. Your kidneys ain't nothing to play with. If you're really sick, Vergil, have a seat. Get hydrated. If 147 is too much for you, it's not worth your life. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. But, sidebar, I'm curious, are they going to drill him for doctor's notes and everything? I'm wondering if he's going to have to go above and beyond to prove that he was really ill. So ill to the point we had to sit this one out. I'm just curious. But get well soon, and let's see what happens, y'all. Bronx on deck. Move!